Jeg er lige her, og hvad der end sker, er det os to, min egen. Vi danser i
Hi Søren, welcome to the Netherlands actually, to Eurostory. Congratulations on being one of the singers in Melodi Grand Prix in Denmark this year.
Thank you.
And I was wondering actually, where and how did you hear that song for the very first time?
So I was asked I think it was in the beginning of November by Martin Skriver and Tim Skov, which is one of the composers and the lyric writers of the song, if I wanted to come sing it in the studio, and then they sent a demo to me. So it's almost 2 months ago now.
But can you go back to that moment, to that very moment when you pushed the button on the demo and heard it for the first time?
Yeah, so I think I was actually out in the street because he called me quite randomly and he sent it to me, and I was like, I'm just going to listen right away because he also said it was for Melodi Grand Prix, so I was so excited. And I was actually very surprised because it was such a calm and slow song, and it was quite different than what I was expecting. And it had a woman on the demo, so with me in the studio and with my voice on it, it actually became also quite another vibe of the song. So it was just amazing to hear it for the first time.
Yeah. And how did you know Tim and Martin?
So I know Martin because we did a show together. I'm a musical theater performer, and he is as well. And then Martin knows Tim, and they're kind of a team. But Martin was the one that I knew from the beginning, and he called me to try and come and sing on the track.
Oh. Okay, so then you recorded a demo, I guess,
with
your voice.
Yes.
Was it immediately a natural song to you?
Yeah, so because we had to find the right key, because it was in another key on the demo, he asked me to try to sing it in like different keys and stuff like that, and I tried some different keys, and when I found the right one, it was just, you know, there's some of these songs that just fit your voice, where it's not too demanding of your voice, it's not too low or too high. It's just like in that perfect middle where your voice just feels like butter, and it's that kind of song to me.
Yeah, is it technically a difficult song to sing?
It is because I have to do a lot of shifts from my full voice to falsetto, so that's the hardest part, and also I have to keep it quite crisp and authentic, so I can't be too lazy about it, even though it needs to sound just like a breeze. I need to keep my core in it, so that's the hard part of it.
Yeah, there's of course a jazzy feel to it.
Yeah, exactly.
And jazz is not your normal style, I would say.
No, I usually, of course, in my work do musical theater, but I have sung a lot of pop and different genres when I was in school for musical theater, because musical theater has lots of different genres. It can be a rock musical or whatever, so I have practiced kind of a lot of different genres.
Yeah. And so there was a double joy, I guess. I mean, the first joy was to like this song.
Yeah.
But the other joy I could hear from what you were answering just now was the fact that it would be for Melodi Grand Prix.
Yeah.
So how is if we can go back in history, if all your encounters with Eurovision would have been filmed, what important parts of that film would we see if you highlight it?
I think it would be a montage of me and my mom sitting on the couch every year and just watching. It has always been a part of my life. I don't remember which time was the first that I watched it. It has always been a thing that I've watched every year. Yeah. So I guess it would just be a beautiful montage of me enjoying
growing up
Yeah.
in Eurovision.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think so.
Are there this is the watching part. Do you listen to Eurovision songs from time to time?
Yeah, I do. I have two different playlists that I listen to. One with like more up-tempo songs and the ballads, and I have some Eurovision songs put in there, so they will come up every now and then.
Ah, okay, cool.
Yeah.
So then there was the moment, I guess, which might have been December or January, where the Danish representatives and the people that decided about Melodi Grand Prix told you and Tim and Martin, this song is going to be in.
Yeah.
Where were you at that moment? How would we find you at that point?
It actually all went very quickly from when I got the call to come and sing in the studio and to where I got the call to actually be in it. I think it was a week or something.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because Martin and Tim's song was already in the loop to be in Melodi Grand Prix. They just needed, I guess, to find the right artist. So they had different picks for it. And I was at home with my boyfriend at his place, and Martin was in London with some friends watching shows and stuff like that. And then he just called me, and I was just like, oh my, you already know that this is gonna happen? Okay. So it was yeah, amazing.
So you must have had a nice dinner at least that evening, not a normal pizza.
I don't remember actually, because I was also doing a show at the same time, so I was very tired, and when I'm doing shows, I just want some easy food. So I guess I just picked some microwave thing. Yeah.
Yeah. But did you celebrate in any way?
Not actually, not necessarily, because yeah, I celebrated with like telling the most important people and the ones that I knew would be happy for me. Yeah, and then I actually had when I did the New Year's party for the New Year that we just had, I told a very important group of people that I was gonna be in it, and we played the song, and everybody was very happy, and so that, I guess, that was the biggest kind of celebration that we did.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
the champagne tasted even nicer then.
yeah, it did.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But it's so nice that you mentioned this special group of people, because there we come to the content of the song.
Yeah,
The message to your chosen family.
yeah.
Was that when the song came to you, the lyric was already there, right?
Yeah.
So it could also be a love song to one person.
Yeah.
But you changed that in your mind and in the way you talk about it into the chosen family.
Yeah, because when I heard it, it is a non-gender specific song, and it is a love song. And I want people hearing it to receive it in any way that feels natural to them. But when I was asked, what is it about to you? I just immediately thought of the term chosen family, because the song is so much about being there for each other and having that one person or more in your life where you've seen all different sides of each other and you've been there through the good and through the bad. One lyric directly translated into English is that I've seen your darkness and I know it, but we're still dancing in the rain. So I also thought about that kind of celebratory feeling of being with the ones that you love, and them giving you the bravery to just be who you are, because they've always loved you for who you are.
Yeah. To what line? You were talking about this line now, but to what part of the song, or what line does your heart celebrate the most?
There is, in the second chorus, this thing that we actually changed a bit from the original demo version, where I say, we are right here, right after singing about dancing in the rain. And then I go into this kind of falsetto dreamy, free, soaring feeling, and that's where I really feel it in my heart and just in my voice, and it just feels so nice to sing.
Yeah, so there's the combination of the melody,
Yeah,
the route that the melody takes, and the fact that you changed it from jij to wie, I think.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah,
I kind of like, I very much like actually also the part that comes after Dancing in the Rain. You were just mentioning this.
yeah.
Where the moons are falling asleep.
Oh yeah. So it's indtil månerne blåner og viser os vej. So it's until the moon falls asleep and shows us the way, we are right here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The funny thing is that actually that it's moons, plural.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
I love that strangeness. A little bit of extra image. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. A little bit about this chosen family, because I think it's such an important message to so many people.
Yeah.
What makes friends become family? Sorry for this difficult question, but it's important.
Yeah. So for me, I've always heard the term chosen family through the queer community and watching Drag Race, for example. It's a term used a lot, and I've always found it very beautiful. But I hadn't felt it in my own life until a couple of years ago, where I was really going through a tough patch with stuff happening in my personal life, and I was just really having a hard time even getting up. And all of a sudden, I was just looking around, and I was really being picked up by these people that have always been my friends, but they really, they were just there for me in such an important way that made me kind of get over this rough patch in my life. And from that point on, I really looked around, because I moved to Copenhagen, and I'm from Fyn, which is the island in the middle. So I'm not close to my real family, and I just looked around, and I was like, you guys are really actually my family, and it doesn't matter that we're not related, because we are the ones who have each other's back in the everyday life, and every day we wake up, we have each other. That's when, yeah.
So that's the point, actually. Yeah.
Yeah. A couple of years ago.
So this now is. I know you have had other theater adventures. We're going to talk about that a little bit, maybe. But this is, of course, a big adventure, also an international adventure, maybe. Let's hope so. Yeah. It already kind of is, because I'm talking to you from the Netherlands.
Yeah.
But how I can see that it's your adventure, but is it also the adventure of your friends?
Yes, very, very much. I think it's a combination of. I have of course, a lot of musical theater friends, and usually when you like musical theater, you would also like Eurovision. It's kind of in the same family, I guess. But I also have a lot of friends that would actually never watch Eurovision, that has really been excited for me, because they know how important it is to me and how much I like it, and they're like, oh my God, I actually really love this song, and I'm usually not into the Eurovision kind of songs, so it's become an adventure for my friends as well. And I think I have a bunch of almost 20 friends that are gonna watch the show live in Næstved Arena in 2 weeks. So I'm very grateful that they would take their time to come watch me.
Yeah. You brought us actually even closer to your chosen family by using images of you and them in your lyric video.
Yeah.
How did you come up with that idea yourself?
It was actually I don't know. It was one of the guys in my team. It was either Martin or Tim, the composer. He has an amazing friend and a guy who is a director and photographer and cinematographer, and he was the one who took all the amazing pictures that I've used for the cover on the single. And And I think maybe it was his idea actually to just do this video where it's like we just get to know me and my personality and all of my friends and my chosen family. And then he was like, just go through your camera roll and just see what videos you can find. And then it became this homage to my chosen family, and and kind of unusual music video.
Absolutely.
That, but then they're trapped.
Yes, it fits the content of the song completely, of course. And how so this step in your career is a step where you know that even more people will see you, will get to know you, will see your face, will see what you wear, the things you bring to the stage. Have there been moments that you were realizing that, or maybe thinking about, well, how is that going to be?
Yeah, so for example, the day of where the participants were released here in Denmark, all of a sudden I had to, there's all these commentary sections on Facebook and YouTube.
I know, yeah.
And I accidentally ended up there reading stuff. And I guess there I realized, okay, well, I really need to focus on the positive and laugh as much as I can on the negative, because there's a lot of negative stuff out there, because usually then people writing negative stuff are the ones who would also post it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I guess in that sense, it's become a part of my brain where it's like, oh, now there's a lot of people that's gonna either like me or not, and I need to stay focused and center on myself and not be affected by it. So that's kind of the thing that I'm juggling right now, but it's also exciting, but overwhelming, of course.
Yes, of course, but I guess you have to make some like deals with yourself or some rules to keep sane, to know that you will keep sane. I made the rule that I can only read comment sections when I have a good day. If I have a bad day, then it will maybe go inside my heart, and that would not be productive in any kind of way. No. Well, I feel that I think you're quite brave to even read it on a good day.
Yeah, true. But I feel like it's a kind of it's comedy for me, because some of the things that people write is just so funny and so like they don't know me, and they're not it's ignorant, because they're not informed by who I am or what my community is or what the song is. So I'm just like, oh yeah, you're just out here just brain farting and saying whatever we want, really. So I try to laugh about it.
Yeah, and you're right. They have no clue who you are or who you really are, of course. So it's never directed to you personally. No.
Oh, exactly.
No. If we go back to because I know you did musical theater, you did pretty big shows, Jersey Boys, West Side Story. I think Grease is next, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So were you as a child always that song and dance kid, or?
Yes, I definitely was. I went to a quite small school where we had music lessons every week, and we had a big musical or theater production every year. And then when I was about 10, 11 years old, I started doing amateur musical theater. We have a big community of that at Fyn, where I'm from. So I've always, since I was, I guess, 9, 10 years old, done musical theater. And it was just kind of the thing that I was good at. So it was the natural thing for me, instead of doing soccer or football, which I tried, which wasn't successful.
Okay.
Where I come from, there's a lot of sport around me, and my whole family does sports. My 2 brothers does handball, and my younger brother does it professionally now. So I was like kind of the odd one out in that sense, but then I found my community through theater. Yeah.
And so, what moments in that career were important to you?
I guess actually when I was 11 years old, I was so fortunate to get the lead role in the Oliver Twist. I got to play that part, and that was kind of an amazing moment for me because I guess that was when I realized that what I feel is natural for me now maybe people is also seeing that, and it just felt so natural to be on stage and singing in front of everybody, even though I was only 11 years old. And then I had kind of a period of time where when puberty hit me and I got a bit more self-conscious and started thinking about myself and who I am. And then I had to build up that confidence again, because when you're a child, you're just so you don't think about what you do. And sometimes I think back to that kid and how I felt doing that show when I was 11 years old, and try to get that feeling back when I'm on stage now. When I get too much in my head, I think back and I'm like, you've always known how to do this, so you just get out of your head and enjoy this.
But that's a smart move. You visualize yourself, your 11-year-old self, being Oliver, just doing what you like best. Yeah. That's a difficult psychological trick, but it works, Berenke.
Yeah, I guess it's not a thing that I'm maybe think about too much, but just talking about it, I'm like, yeah, it's actually something that I do, and I just remember that kind of feeling of feeling free and having a freedom on stage, and I don't want to do this if I'm not doing it to reach that freedom. I don't want it to be a hardship to be on stage.
No.
Even though it is sometimes, and you can't always have that freedom at all, but that's what I strive for.
Yeah. Cool. How important is it for you to make your hands and your fingers go numb while singing?
Yeah.
I read it in an interview, of course.
Yeah. I thought so. I was like, oh, all right. It's not that important to me. I guess it's just it's that the feeling that you're talking about is when I know I've forgotten myself completely in doing a song or a show. I get this numb feeling. It's like my hands and my body starts sleeping, and it's like I'm getting like waking up from the dead or something. It's like I've been completely gone, and I know when I've reached that, it's the highest level of forgetting myself, and it doesn't happen a lot, but I always seek it out, and I feel proud and happy when it happens. But it's also been a journey of accepting that I will never be there all the time, and accepting that my medium is also okay on days where I can't do the best.
Yeah.
Or else it just be too hard performing every day and as a living.
It sounds a little bit like you are constantly striving to the freedom, to the being 11-year-old again, to forgetting what you're doing, forgetting your body and so on. So how wonderful would it be if you get to do that in those 3 minutes in 2 weeks? But it sounds so difficult to reach, maybe.
Yeah, because it's a mixture of, to reach that, I need to not even think about wanting to reach it. You know, it's kind of a meta layer, and maybe I will reach it and maybe not. Hopefully I will just enjoy it at least. I know that I will be proud of whatever I do, but just being there is amazing in itself.
Yeah. Well, I guess it's really a good start is to have this song that is so personal also to you. I mean, even if no one would vote, it would still be a fantastic song for you, at least.
Yeah, exactly. I've actually said to some of my friends, I was like, it wouldn't even matter to me if the song was good. I just want to be in Melodi Grand Prix. because I love it. I'm so glad that I've grown to really love the song and really feel like it's part of me and who I am. I'm so lucky that I get to sing it and convey that message. And I guess it is a song that has a vibe of self-forgetting, because it's such a yeah, it's just kind of a breeze and a feeling of closing your eyes. I could sing it with just my eyes closed.
Yeah.
And it just brings me joy singing it.
Yeah, it's such a dreamy song, and that's what we do, right? That's what you do. Bring dreams to people while dreaming yourself and still doing everything all right, technically.
Yeah.
Quite
so
impossible,
also,
but yeah.
Yeah, but it's also about having practiced so much that I know that all the technical stuff is there, so that I don't need to think about them, and then I can just ease myself into the sea of LIGE HER.
Yeah, the sea of LIGE HER. Yeah, that's beautiful. Okay, so almost the last questions. I know it is also a nod to the first Danish Eurovision song 66 years ago.
Yeah.
Skibet skal sejle i nat.
Yes.
In some way, or maybe some other Danish Melodi Grand Prix songs from that time.
Yeah.
Now you probably know, since you know your Eurovision history, what this song Skibet skal sejle is famous for, apart from the melody and the song. It's very famous for the last 11 seconds.
Oh, I don't even know, actually.
It is. The last 11 seconds were a kiss between the two singers.
Wow, yeah.
On the mouth, and it lasted, in 1957, 66 years ago, it lasted 11 seconds.
Wow.
Which was kind of a big thing back then.
Yeah.
So I know you're alone on stage.
Yeah.
But that was a very straight kiss.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be time for a queer 11 seconds kiss now?
You know, I'm always up for queer kisses on television, where however we can fit it in. I don't know if it will be in this song, but I would be up for a queer kiss on television in any other context.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Maybe if I win, I will make it happen.
Do some homage to Gustav and Beerte from 57. Okay.
Yeah, that would be amazing.
That's cool. What about after this? I know you're going to do Greece. When is that starting?
I just started this week, actually. We just finished the first week of rehearsals. And then we're going to play the show from March to May. And then I'm going to do Dirty Dancing from, I think, June to July. And then Jersey Boys start there.
Reprise. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Are there any, I know you've done very, very big and important musicals, but are there any musicals in the musical repertoire that you would dream of?
Oh yeah, a lot. I would love to do some. I would love to do some of the more the newer written musicals, like Dear Evan Hansen, if you know that.
Sure.
Spring Awakening. I would love for that to come to Denmark, or Legally Blonde, or Mean Girls, like some of those, the newer ones, because the musical genre is not that old in Denmark. It's still quite new, so they don't have the audience to just, do whatever show they want here in Denmark. So they still kind of do some of the classics, but we're starting to get there where the producers are doing risks. So I would love to see some of the newer stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or Tim and Martin should write a new musical.
They may or may not already be doing that.
Okay. So this was a wild guess, but not a very wild guess, I guess.
Yes. Yeah.
But what about, so this is musical theater. What about recordings? I mean, this screams for more songs, I guess.
Yes. So I actually, with this also, that is the most exciting for me, is it's also a leap into the music industry, and me being an artist, and I have already planned with Tim and Søren Christensen, who is the producer of the song, that we're going to have some writing sessions and hopefully record some tracks that I would release. That would be a big dream of mine. So we're really trying to make that happen.
Cool. And then you would like to write yourself as well?
Yeah, I would like to.
Wonderful. Okay, so I take that as a promise. Thank you very much for now. And really all the best, of course, in Melodi Grand Prix. But actually that doesn't matter. The song is already here. It's already nice. And there will be many more things after that.
Yeah, I hope so.
Oh, we are sure. It's okay. Thank you very much, Søren. I'll stop.
Thank you so much for talking to me. And it was nice.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Vi er lige